Hi, welcome to our webinar. Thank you for joining us today. This session is about defining your life purpose and how that relates to your studies. My name is Daniel.
My name is Kay.
And we are from UniHelp team. The idea of organizing this webinar came from our manager, Alex, who did a similar session for our team. And after he realized that this information would be worth sharing with students. This webinar is about life purpose, and our goal here is to make you more aware that having a purpose in life is something really important and beneficial to you. We are going to show you a way how you could approach a task of defining your life purpose. We encourage you to follow exercises we are going to present here, and hopefully at the end of this session, you will have a better understanding how you could define your life purpose. Please know there's no one way of doing this. Also, we understand that 1 hour session with us and a few exercises may be not enough. Don't worry too much if you find some of those exercises difficult or if you simply need more time to complete them. Our main goal here is to provoke your thoughts and encourage you to think about what in your life matters most to you.
So, life on purpose. Your life purpose consists the central motivating aims of your life, the reasons why you get up in the morning. And, your purpose can guide your life decisions, it influence your behavior, shape your goals, and offer you a sense of direction. But most importantly, it creates meaning for your life. And for some people, purpose is connected to a vocation. They find their calling and doing meaningful work. And for others, their purpose lies in the responsibilities to their family and friends, making them happy. And others seek meaning through spirituality and religious beliefs. And for some other people, it can be all of these things as their purpose. So before we go through the steps of defining a life purpose, we would like to find out how you would rate yourself with regards to the following statements about purpose in life. So the first statement is, I have a sense of direction and purpose in my life. And the second one is, some people wander aimlessly through life, but I'm not one of them. So rate yourself between 1 and 7, where 1 is, I strongly disagree, and 7, I strongly agree. So make a note of your scores for each of the statements and find the average for your scores. So add the two scores together and then divide that by 2 and note down your score. So for those, you have selected 1 to 3, which is quite low. But after this session, hopefully you'll have some ideas how you could improve your score. And for those of you who've selected 4, which is somewhere in the middle, and after this session, you'll have some ideas how you can make your score even better. And for those of you who selected 5 to 7, which is quite high, hopefully after this session, you'll have a few ideas which could help you to make your purpose even stronger. And share this information with your friends and family to help them to live a more purposeful and meaningful life. And now I'll pass it on to Daniel to talk to you about the research.
Thank you, Kay. So you are about to start your studies and going to be an academic environment for some time. You will probably learn about research methods and maybe even carry out a research yourselves. We would like to tell you about research which was done on the topic we are presenting here. Several academic studies have been conducted about the importance of a purpose for life. Very large groups of people have been surveyed over the years. They were all asked to calculate their purpose score in the same way as you just did. Lots of other aspects have been measured as well. For example, age, gender, diet, ethnicity, weight, and many others. During those studies, the researchers try to control statistically those factors so that they are sure that the thing they are studying, a purpose for life, is really causing the change effect they are observing. Now Kay is going to tell you about the research results.
Yep, so following on from looking at all these aspects and factors from the research, when you have a strong purpose in your life with a score of 4 or above, it will offer you these benefits. So you'll live longer, you'll have a reduced risk of heart attack, you'll have a reduced risk of stroke, you're less likely to get Alzheimer's disease, you spend less nights in a hospital, more likely to have your blood sugar controlled. If you're being treated for alcohol or drug problems, you're less likely to have a relapse. You'll have higher level cells which attack viruses, less cells which produce inflammation. You'll sleep better, you'll be happier, you're less likely to be depressed, you'll be more successful at work, and you'll have a more fulfilling and more stable relationship. So the benefits of having a strong direction and purpose in your life are infinite and overwhelming. But these results are supported by academic research, which are carried out by leading academics around the world. So if you think about all these benefits that we just mentioned, and you think about that, and if you have to put it in a pill, you would advise everyone to take this pill, right? Because there's no negative side effects here to having a strong purpose. And having a purpose is freely available for everyone. But just remember that, your purpose can change over time. And one day you might feel strong at it, and next day you might feel weaker. So before we look at the 6 steps here, it is good to start self-reflection. And you can ask yourself the following questions, such as, who am I? Where do I belong? When do I feel fulfilled? And why am I here? So these questions are quite difficult, and you might find them confusing and overwhelming and even upsetting at first. But self-reflection is important, and you can understand yourself better by asking yourself these questions. And once you have that, you can start to make a connection to why you're here. And looking at this quote on your presentation here, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. It shows that reflection is a necessary part of learning. And now if you think about this purpose and think about how it relates to your studies here, what's the reason you have chosen the course? Does your study at Middlesex University have meaning and purpose? And if that is the case, how strong is this purpose? So now we have another poll for you here. Again, the poll is an optional. So now the statement to rate yourself this time is, my study at Middlesex University are meaningful and purposeful for me. So you should be able to see that on the screen now. And if you rate yourself between 1 and 7, where 1 is I strongly disagree, and 7 is I strongly agree, I will give you 30 seconds to a minute here to think about this and select your answers. And thank you for those who have submitted their answer already. I'm just letting you know we have 20 seconds left here. So don't worry if you haven't completed this. This is just to give you some idea of where you are at the moment. So someone on the chat says error type. Are you having some sort of issues with entering the poll? Okay, and now the time is up, and we'll end the results and share that now. So as you can see here, the majority of you have selected 5 to 7, which is good. You've rated yourself quite high there. And the research suggests that the higher up the 7-point scale you are, the more likely your studies will be successful. So if your study is meaningful, sorry, did someone say something? Okay, not to worry. So if your study is meaningful and purposeful for you, you'll have more motivation to overcome the difficulties you may face during your studies. And if your purpose score is low, you may need our support and the support around others to help you. And you also have a chance to improve your score through self-learning and reflection by thinking why your studies are important to you here. But remember, whatever your score is, please remember that Middlesex University offers a lot of support for students, especially our team at UniHelp is a good place to start. We're here to offer you advice and support. And if we cannot support you directly, we can always refer you to our specialist services, such as welfare advice, the employability team, the learning enhancement team, and our counseling services, and so on. And now I'll pass you to Daniel to talk about the first step.
Thank you, Kay. So now we would like to show you a few exercises, a few steps you can take to reflect on what matters most to you, what gives you meaning, and how you could define your life purpose. Also, this kind of reflection and self-exploration may help you to find more meaning and purpose in your studies. Please have something to write in front of you. So here you have a list of core values. From the list, select 3 you care most about in your life. If you have a value which isn't on this list, please add this value and select that one. Once you selected your top 3 values, spend some time thinking about them, or it would be even better if you make short notes and write about them. So bullet points are just okay. You could just explain why those values are important to you. And we will give you 3 minutes to complete this. So, for example, if you are a person who expresses yourself through art or likes sharing your creativity, then the creativity would be the value which you could select. Or maybe you like helping other people or do something for your community, then community, or perhaps helping people or kindness, that would be a value which you could select.
So for some of you have just joined, we're just doing the exercise here. If you can see that on your screen. And don't worry if you are still catching up and just reading.
Yeah, so this is the first step of defining your life purpose. You need to select your top 3 core values. And then maybe think about them, and you can make brief notes. Just bullet points are okay. Why those values are important to you. Someone is asking, can I choose more than 3? Probably yes, you can. If you cannot decide, just maybe 4. But on the other hand, it would be good to see what is most important to you. So ideally, if you could choose 3 values. Someone wrote achievement, independence, self-control. Thank you for sharing, Monica.
Just letting you guys know that we have 30 seconds left here. So don't worry if you haven't finished. And now the time is up.
Okay, so is there anyone who'd like to speak about their core values and why they are important? Is there anyone who'd like to share with us? Just please raise your hand if you would like to do so. And you can unmute yourself and share with us. But it's not compulsory, so you can share your values on the chat. So I can read it, a few of them.
Why I joined, why I want to do.
So some Ngozi wrote achievement, independence, spirituality. Kaya wrote achievement, kindness, security. Ivana wrote enjoyment, independence, kindness. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. There is Zainab who would like to share with us. So please share your thoughts.
Okay, so I put spirituality, responsibility, and achievement because I think in terms of responsibility, regardless of what your actions are, you need to be accountable for the things you do. Spirituality because I am religious and I feel like that is just a core part of my life, full stop, that keeps me getting up and going every morning. And achievement, regardless of what you're doing, I think it is important to achieve something. You wouldn't want to be failing at anything all the time. So having like a physical goal is also important.
Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing. Is there anyone else?
Well, for me, I started off by just choosing spirituality because for me, that's my core value. It aids every order of my being, my responsibility and all other things that is listed down, on your list. So that's the motivating or the driving force in my life.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. So now we're going to the second step.
My core value is to help my community to develop and it's online.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. You can share that at the end as well.
Yes. Yeah.
So for step 2 here, who is a role model for you? So think about a person or people you would like to emulate, someone to be like or live like rather than someone you can look like. Maybe someone in your family or a historical figure or a public figure or even a character from a story. So describe them briefly in writing. It can just be a bullet points here. And we'll give you 3 minutes to complete this exercise again. And we'll ask some volunteers to share at the end. So you can think of example as, a politician, a philosopher, a scientist, an artist, a sports person, or a designer. So someone asked the question here, that person should be part of our family. It could be anyone. It's just a suggestion that the person could be in your family. So as an example of mine, my mom is my role model, the things that she's achieved in life, and she's always very ambitious and courageous. So I've chosen my mom as a role model. Yep, I see some of the comments that you guys have put in. That's good. And
Yeah,
yep.
Someone wrote Gandhi, someone wrote Obama.
Yeah.
Someone wrote, I am my role model.
Yep, and for those who have said, you chose yourself rather than copying someone else, and that's quite good as well, because you can always look up to yourself and refer yourself as a role model and set an example for people for you.
Ronaldo and Obama.
Yeah, just reminding you guys, we have 20 seconds left, so it's okay if you haven't finished that as well.
It's okay not to have a role model as well. Yes, that was his question.
And now the time is up. Does anyone want to share? We can ask you to unmute yourself, or as usual, you can do the chat, which some of you are doing as well.
Well, equally, I would like to, my mom is also my role model because of her resilience and perseverance in life. So I would like to go on from there and, make the best of myself as well.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
My son is also my role model. Dality. He's very intelligent, creative, and then he motivated me to go for my nursing. So I believe, he's behind me. My reading, my education-wise, is always around me. But he studied engineering, but he's very active when it comes in terms of education and social life.
Yeah, I think it goes both ways, isn't it? The parents and the child to your parent. So so it's nice to hear that.
Thank you.
I can see also Zaina would like to share.
Hi, I think my role models are my parents, because regardless, they're always working harder and harder, and they always have an unwavering faith and belief in life, because as a student, you're always thinking about how you can do things better. But when you have parents, your parents are doing things to make your life better.
Yeah.
I just think in a way, book characters, because regardless of their situation, they kind of always go for what they know is right, regardless of the consequences.
Yeah. That's a good one as well. I've chosen my mom as my role model, so I understand that. And thank you for those who have shared, and thank you, Zainab. And a lot of people have chosen Obama. That's a good one. And now we'll move on to step 3, which Daniel will talk you through about this.
So step 3, this step we will give you a choice. So you can do either the headstone test or the trophy test. The headstone test focuses on death and mortality. The aim of doing this exercise is to put you in a frame of mind of limited time and push you to consider what matters to you in life, how you would like to be remembered, and what accomplishments or attributes you would like to be remembered for, as this may give you some clues what is most important to you and what you should focus in your life. Some people find this test a bit morbid. The exercise is deliberately provocative, but so if you find it too distressing, you can choose the second one, the trophy test, and imagine yourself winning an award. So if you choose the headstone test, you have to draw a headstone, write your name on it, and your date of birth. Now you have to put the date of death as today's date. Underneath, consider what your epitaph would be. What would people say about you at your memorial? Once you created the first headstone, think about what you would want people to say at your memorial and create the second headstone. So if the two epitaphs are different, ask yourself, what you would have to start to do from tomorrow to change people's mind. If you choose the second test, the trophy test, imagine yourself winning an award. Ask yourself at what category people who you know would most likely to give you an award if they had to do it today. Once you do this, ask yourself what category you would prefer it to be. If the two categories are different, then ask yourself what you would have to start doing from tomorrow to achieve the award you would prefer. So we will give you like 3 minutes for this task. So please just make a note of either the headstone test or the trophy test. Yeah, we understand it's not that much time to do that, but just please record your first thoughts.
So I'm just letting you guys know we have 30 seconds left here, so don't worry if you haven't completed this. Please know that our time is up now.
Okay, so is there anyone who'd like to share their thoughts? The headstone test or the trophy test? Someone wrote on the chat, kindness awards and charity work. Samira wrote, at the moment I would be described as kind and loving. I would like to be described as an achiever. Thank you for sharing this. Is there anyone who'd like to speak about that headstone test or the trophy test? Just check. Okay, as I cannot see volunteers, Kay, would you like to share your headstone test or the trophy test with us, please?
Yeah, sure. So, you know, I have both. So for the headstone test is I want to be remembered as a loving and kind person. But in actual fact, I wanted to be remembered as an inspirational, loving, kind person dedicated to help others and encourage people to live their dreams. And with the trophy test, I've chosen the humblest award for the year. but I would prefer to be the most inspirational person award for the year as well.
Thank you, Kay.
No worries.
Now we're going to the next step.
Yep. So step 4 here is about your life goals. And, you know, it's good to start by asking these questions as what are the goals in your life that matters to you the most? And you might want to break it down to these 4 categories, such as personal, family, work and or study, and the last one, community. So it is up to you how you want to break this down or not. You don't have to break it down. We just wrote this here to help you and guide you to answer this question. And again, we'll give you 3 minutes to think about this, and we'll ask some volunteers to share at the end if they want to. And I can see some people wrote from the last exercises, they wanted to be an achiever. So that's good, to be remembered by, and a gentleman with attitude to promote peace and love. That's very good as well. So thank you for sharing. Yep, I can see someone have said sharing personal in second. Yeah, thank you for that as well. Thank you for sharing.
I can't get to write nothing.
So I'll give you some of the examples for myself. For personal, I wanted to have self-growth, self-acceptance, you know, share my life experience and stories, empower others, and encourage people to live their dreams. And for family, you know, I wanted to be the person who's always there to support and help them, you know, share experiences together, especially with food, and create memories together. And community, I've written, you know, I want to connect with people and communicate with people with my creativity, working with people and sharing ideas, inspiring people to live their dreams. Yeah, I've seen some of you have written family, community, useful and fulfilled. Someone just wrote for all 4 options are important, which is good. So just want to let you know that there's no right or wrong answers here. This is completely personal to everyone. And study is important, yeah. So we only have 30 seconds left now. Don't worry if you haven't completed this as well. Yeah, someone just said they wanted to be supportive towards their family, count on them. Yep, I can relate to that. I want to empower people in my community, especially women and children. Yep, I can relate to that as well. I think a lot of these things we can relate to each other, and they are all very personal to ourselves. So 30 seconds is up now. Does anyone want to share by talking? Or you can do the chat as well, like most of you have done here. So someone wrote all 4 options are very important. That's good. Someone said to help their community, sharing with people and achieve their dreams and being creative. Yep. And is there anyone else who wants to talk about this?
I can see Zainab.
Yep.
Like to share her thoughts.
Yep. Sure. Yep, Zainab.
Okay. I think like as personal goal, it would be good to be like just like able to do things like 100%. So say you wanted to just like go out and help people less fortunate, you were physically and like financially able to do that as like a personal goal. That would be great. I'd like to be able to take care of my family, like in any kind of way they need, like in terms of health, financials, and like make sure they're all housed.
Yeah.
In terms of work and study, I'd like to have like a job I can stay at and like good qualification, something that I enjoy. And community, I'd just like love to help people who are less fortunate than me to kind of have the same chance that I've had in my life.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much. And I feel that, you know, from where you've seen on the chat, a lot of people can relate with your thoughts as well and your goals. So thank you for sharing. Thank you. And now I'll pass it to Daniel, who will talk about step 5.
Thank you, Kay. So step 5, a purpose statement. So now you have to join all these elements together. You need to reflect on the previous exercises and find any common motives, and then try to pull all of these elements into a purpose statement for yourself. So a purpose statement usually begins with the word to. So for example, you could say, my purpose is to support my family, or to make lots of money, or to be a positive example, or to serve God, or to have a good time, or to make people smile, whatever suits you. And make sure your purpose really reflects who you are. It must be meaningful to you. By aligning your efforts with something bigger than yourself, you will infuse your efforts with passion and meaning. This can be an idea or a set of values you believe in, a community, your family, God. Some people have something called a vocation or calling, which is a strong desire or feeling of duty to do a particular job, especially one in which you help other people. Many people feel fulfilled when they can do a meaningful work which benefits others. So you can ask yourself the following questions here. Does my purpose make me feel excited? Is it a challenge? Does it inspire me? Does it make me feel I want to get up in the morning? Does my purpose really fit me? If not, you would have to go to the step 1. It is absolutely fine if you do not get it exactly right first time. We will give you 3 minutes to complete this task, and after we will ask someone to share the thoughts with us. So Fracini wrote, community. I would like to be well recognized and remembered in my community with a good work done. Thank you for sharing this. So Samira wrote, personal, the best version of myself. Victor would like to be known as a role model, be the pivot in my family, a team player in my workplace, and brother keeper in my community. Thank you for that. And I can give you an example how a purpose statement could look like. And I can see another person wrote, my purpose is to help my family and my community.
Just letting you guys know that you have 30 seconds left. Don't worry if you haven't completed this.
Kaya wrote, the purpose is to secure a lifelong career to help my family and community. This drives me to carry on. Thank you. And Gozi wrote, my purpose is to uplift others, empower and leave smiles in people's life, regardless of who they are and they are coming from.
Yep, so the time's up now.
Is there anyone who'd like to also speak about purpose statement? This can be just one sentence. It doesn't need to be long. Okay, Zainab, could you share your thoughts with us, please?
My purpose is to be responsible for my dreams and hopes, and to be able to achieve things regardless of other people's expectations. My purpose, I want to be able to write books, help the hungry, be an artist, healthcare scientist, a good daughter and family member. And knowing that I can achieve all of that really truly makes me happy and makes me smile. I want to get out of bed in the morning, and it aligns perfectly with like all of my spiritual beliefs, and like I can be like a person that I read about in a book that just makes me smile because I love the things they do.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your purpose. Is there anyone else?
Yeah, I share my purpose. My purpose would be to help my family and the community and to make money. And the money that I will make, I will use it to help the less privileged ones in the society.
Thank you.
Yep.
So now we can go to the last step.
Yeah, so now we're finally here with step 6. So step 6 is to create a reminder and to visualize your life purpose. So once you have your purpose statement, recite the statement to yourself every day for 2 weeks and notice how you would feel. You know, does it make a difference? Does it make you more energetic? So for me, it took some time to wear in. You know, it was a bit weird at first, but after a while, it became a reminder to what I need to do for every day. And to make it more visual, you could design a sign with your purpose written on it, or you can create a live purpose board. So put it somewhere you can see that every day, the first thing in the morning. And you can also consider to share this with your close ones, such as your friends and family. And the goal of this step is to create a reminder and visualize your purpose. You know, create something which constantly reminds you about your purpose so you can align your actions towards that. And it is important to do this because, you know, we all live in a very busy lifestyle and we are all trying to balance the demands of life. And sometimes we lose the big picture and forget what matters to you the most. So now we'll show you an example of Daniel's live purpose board here. So as you can see on the presentation, on the board it shows the images which represents what he's mentioned in the purpose statement earlier. And this is a reference point for you to build what you have for your purpose board. And now I'll pass it on to Daniel to conclude.
Thank you, Kai. So during the session, we showed you benefits of purposeful life and purposeful study. We asked you to reflect on your values, your goals, and people who inspire you. As benefits of living a purposeful life are overwhelming, we wanted to encourage you to define your life purpose and remember about it when you make any important decisions in your life. The exercises we presented here can also strengthen purpose and meaning of your studies, as this kind of reflection can help you to find more reasons why your time at university is important. This can boost your motivation to overcome any obstacles you may encounter during your studies and bring you more success in your student journey. At the same time, we would like to stress it is perfectly normal not to have your life purpose defined or even not thinking about it too much, especially if you are a young person. It is not that easy to reflect on yourself in this way, but it is worth it. If you want to live longer, be healthier, have better relationships, and be more successful. So keep trying and good luck.
Yep, so now we have gone through all the information that we wanted to share with you. And we hope you find it very useful. And if you would like to find out more about the research that we've mentioned during this webinar, this is the relevant literature list on the slide here. So you can take a picture if you wish to. But someone earlier mentioned in the chat about this webinar. So this webinar is recorded and you can find that on my UniHub later on as well. And now, if you have any further questions or you would like to discuss your progress of going through the steps from 1 to 6 after this webinar, or provide us any feedback, we have our contact details here as well. You can email us. And if you have any questions and comments now, you can also use the chat or raise your hand to speak to us. So thank you very much for attending, everyone, and thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.